Well, good evening, everyone, and a very warm welcome to DTLC Season 13, Week 6. It's such a pleasure to have you with us once again, whether you're joining us from Eastern Africa, Western Africa, Southern Africa, or anywhere else in the world. It's a clear message that your health is your priority. Congratulations to you. We've officially reached week 6, the halfway point of our 12-week DTLC journey. Lifestyle change isn't always easy, but every week you show up, every healthy choice you make, and every lesson you apply is an investment in your future health. Well, how are you feeling? Have you noticed some changes in your energy levels, your blood sugar, perhaps your weight, your confidence, or even how you feel about food? We would love to hear about your progress. Please, if you can, just type in the chat. We'll read them as we go on. Feel free to type how you feel. Well, friends, did you know people who plan their meals before the week begins are more likely to eat healthier, waste less food, save money, and stick to their healthy goals than those who decide what to eat at the last minute? And that's why tonight's session is so valuable. It will equip you with practical skills you can start using right away. To lead us through the discussion, we are delighted to be joined once again by our facilitators. They are no longer strangers to us. They have become part of our learning experience and even our family, faithfully walking this journey with us week after week. Well, I'm pleased to introduce Dr. Ojwang, a registered dietitian and diabetes educator. We also have Ms. Jalang'o with us, our family doctor and diabetes care specialist. Tonight's session will focus on planning ideal meals and grocery shopping. So settle in, grab your notebook, get ready for yet another informative practical DTLC session. So before we begin, I'd like to share a testimonial from one of our former DTLC members. Well, many people living with other chronic conditions have also benefited from adapting healthier lifestyle. And this particular participant was actually living with an autoimmune condition and experienced remarkable improvements through consistent lifestyle changes. So we hope this story encourages you and inspires you. Enjoy watching.
Does this program work?
I joined season 6. That was my first time to interact with DTLC. Season 10, I was in as a champion. I must say that I came in sick, desperate, hopeless. That is how I came in. But Dr. Alice kept telling me, you'll be fine, sweetie. And you know, when you're hearing you'll be fine, it gives you a lot of hope. But I didn't know how. So when I joined, of course, we started off with learning how to eat, what to eat, how much to eat. And there was a lot that I picked from the classes, like what, carbohydrate intelligence, portioning, sleeping. Sleeping was very shocking for me, like the circadian rhythm. I didn't know much about it. So that was my first time actually to hear about that. I also learned about intermittent fasting, which has really helped with my health. So what has happened, and of course, exercise. I never used to exercise before. I had such a sedentary lifestyle. Even my doctor kept telling me, you need to move, you need to move. But I was like, move where? You don't even know. Until somebody takes time to educate you on some of these things, it is very difficult to start because you do not have knowledge of how to do them. So over time, I have lost weight. I now have lost like 12 kilos. In fact, I think there are more now. So the doctor is very happy. And he just told me, I don't know what you're doing, but continue doing it. So I told him I'm seeing a nutritionist, and she has helped me to learn how to change my lifestyle and improve on areas where I was very uninformed about. So he's happy. Last month, I went for a review. he reduced my medication further. So I was very, very happy. Unfortunately, some of the medication I was taking had a negative side effect. So I had extra medicine to deal with the side effect. But when I went last time, we reduced even the medicine that was managing the side effect. So things are working better. And it was obvious that as I lose weight, my symptoms are also going down. So there was a direct relationship between my weight and the health condition. So what else has happened? When we began, I think Dr. Alice would remember, I didn't have a voice. I couldn't speak. I had hoarse voice all the time, like permanently. I didn't know I would ever speak. My career is psychotherapy. So how do you do psychotherapy and you can't speak? I also had interest in media. So what happened is, as I continued, my voice started getting stronger. So I started off with media, and now in July, I have unpaused my career. I'm now back to psychotherapy. So that is why I get late. That's why I get stuck. Sometimes Lydia calls me, "Are you joining?" I'm like, I'm on traffic. I will join, but I cannot speak. So that is what has happened. Life has come back, so I can confirm what Dr. Alice kept telling me. You'll be fine, sweetie. You'll be fine, sweetheart. Now I am fine, sweetheart. So I am happy. I am happy. We are working to achieve remission. I am handling an autoimmune condition, so I am hoping to achieve remission. And I'm also hoping that I can be able to influence many others. So during my sessions, I have found it very useful because you find people who are going through stress or have issues because of health. Others, they have stress because they don't even rest. So I have been able to borrow a lot from this class to empower my clients and let them understand what it means to, sleep enough, to eat well, to exercise. And some of them have taken it up. I hope they will keep the routine. So it has not just helped me. My family also has benefited. My husband has lost some weight. My children eat vegetables for breakfast. That never used to happen before. So it's when once one person has benefited, the benefits spread. It has a ripple effect. So it's not just about me, it's about my family. For those who are considering to join, my word for you is don't wait to be sick like I was and desperate. Come in to prevent the onset of lifestyle diseases. That is the only way you can help yourself. Managing lifestyle diseases is very expensive. It is very difficult and it is painful because it is sometimes you don't even sleep because of pain. Don't wait to be there. Join now, learn, prevent. Thank you very much to DTLC and the team. I am so, so, so happy that now I have my life back.
Well, we hope that was encouraging to all of you. Lifestyle is the beginning of remission. So clearly, meaningful change doesn't happen overnight. It happens one healthy choice at a time. And as Jim Rohn wisely said, he says, take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live. So today, we'll continue building those healthy choices together. Now, let's continue with the session. Let's briefly revisit some of the key lessons from last week's excellent presentation on medication management. Of course, the one thing we learned is that medication works best when it is supported by healthy lifestyle choices. So at this point, I warmly welcome Ms. Jalang'o, our family doctor and diabetes care specialist, as she takes us through a recap of the key take-home messages from last week's session. Ms. Jalang'o, we are all ears. Sorry for that. You can unmute.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lydia, and good evening, everyone. Welcome once again to another exciting session of DTLC. I was glad last week to share with you about medication. Sometimes when you have diabetes, you will need to use medication. And it is important that we use the medication appropriately. And that notwithstanding, last week we had a challenge. Lydia, I think you shared with me 2 results. Only 2 people did the challenge out of everyone in the group. Is it?
Well,
It's
those are
only
the
2.
ones I received. So hopefully
Yeah,
you did.
that was from Kathy, and the other one didn't have a name.
Yes.
Well, do you know who sent the other one?
Yes, it was anonymous.
Oh, it was anonymous. Okay, anonymous. Thank you. So thank you, Kathy, and the other participant who is anonymous. So last week we talked about your medicine. Medicine can sometimes be a component in your diabetes journey. It helps control your blood glucose. Some of the medicine also goes beyond blood glucose to address issues such as cholesterol, blood pressure. The main aim of the medicine is to get you in control, prevent complications, improve your quality of life. But remember, medicine only works best when it is combined with your healthy lifestyle habits. So, medicine will support your mission, but lifestyle will deliver the results. Now, different medicines we saw target different problems in diabetes, and these range from insulin deficiency from the pancreas level, insulin resistance in the cells and in the liver, excess glucose production from the liver, and even glucose reabsorption in the kidney. Now, it's important to take your medication as prescribed. And it's also important to read your labels so that you understand the side effects, attend regular follow-up visits, so that in case you need a change, changes are made. The main issue is we want you to use your medicine safely and effectively to manage your diabetes. And when you're traveling, always remember to pack your medication fast. And if you're using things like insulin and you need to travel, especially by air, kindly ensure you have a letter from your doctor so that you have an easy time traveling with your medication. Then remember, the medicine, your lifestyle impacts your control. The only way we will know whether your medicine or your lifestyle changes are making a difference is by monitoring your blood glucose and the other parameters, such as your blood pressure, your cholesterol, your liver function, your kidney function, etc. So it's important also to know your medication, the name, the dose, the action, and the side effects so that you're able to take charge of your health. Lastly, I'd like to remind you also that lifestyle modification is part of using your medicine safely. So remember that you want a good foundation for your diabetes care, and you do this by healthy eating, physical activity, adequate sleep and rest, and avoiding harmful substances. So to wrap it all up, the medication will help steer your life, but lifestyle is the fuel that keeps the journey going on. So they work hand in hand. And so it's important as you take your medication to always ensure that you are also continuing with your lifestyle strategies. So thank you for that. And I hand back over to Lydia, unless there are any questions.
Can I speak?
Yes, please.
Thank you, Dr. Jalang'o, and good evening, everybody. So maybe you can just share. Can you share the slide, or can I share it for you, just to show the benefit of doing this exercise?
Mhm.
I have this one person here,
Yes.
and you can see that, eh? And so it means that this person, when they were preparing this, they actually read about their
Mhm.
drug, they read the dosages, they read the side effects. And so they really know about their medication and they know what to expect. And this is really the importance of doing this assignment, you know. So that was one person. Sorry, I'm getting this from my email. That was anonymous.
Mhm.
Sorry. Yeah. So this person is on one medication. And also, they're able to do this. So they really understand their medication, eh? So when I was learning to be a diabetes educator, I had to do this for like so many patients, like 50, 20 patients, so understand what they are taking. And so when you have somebody taking a lot of medication, you really need to do this. So maybe by show of hands, how many people attempted to actually, or just put in the chat, how many attempted to understand their medication, you know? Hmm? You see, like this one, she understands some unusual side effects, muscle pain, feeling cold, trouble breathing, feeling dizzy, headache, tired, stomach pain, vomiting, slow. So yes, Mami Owiti, please go ahead. Jen Owiti, thank you.
I'm
Yeah.
not a diabetes as yet, but I'm on the borderline, which is very much controlled.
Yeah.
And DTCL had taught me to know my medication. And I know it to the level that even if I'm given a new medication, I read it to the letter. My eyes are not good, but I use my magnifying glass to read, to
Yes,
understand. Like
great.
lately, I'm in new medication, but I read them thoroughly and very, very keen when I'm taking them to observe how does my body react. And that has helped me a lot. Like particularly the latest I have for my blood pressure, because my blood pressure has been very, very stubborn. So I was given one, it's called, do I have to say the name? Anyway, but then I realized because they thought that when I was going to see a dentist, because of my high blood pressure, dentists could not work on me, and it has happened several times. So the doctors, they had to work between them, what can help. So I was given a new medication to see. You see, the doctor said, when you are going to see a dentist, take it 1 hour before it's done. I did that. It did nothing. And then through observation, I found out that it takes effects after 3 hours.
Huh?
And it's very, very important to know how the medication works and the side effects and so on and so forth. I've also come to know the side effect of this one because it makes me extremely drowsy. And already it was already said in the pamphlet, the reaction, the side effect you could. But at the end, after 3 hours or so, it works out. So, and from the, we live alone now, but from the word go when Dr. Jalang'o and at least they taught me how to be particular, know your medication. I don't take it before I know. I don't just read that, take it 2 times, 3 times a day without knowing what is it, what can it do, and this and that. So it is vital to know the medication you are taking into your body and put the record so that you can be able to discuss with the doctor. It has helped me a lot. And many, many times since season, was it, what season was it? when I presented all this information to the doctor and the reaction I have, the doctor had removed that medication out of my schedule
Yeah, I
because I
can
had quite
remember
a number.
that. Yes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So it is vital to know your medication.
Mhm.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you so much.
So-
And I remember you had some side effects. Your blood pressure used to jump like crazy and low, and no, they didn't know what was happening until you read your insert. And that means when you
Yeah.
discuss with the doctor, and then it even helped the doctor.
Yes,
Yeah.
it did. Yeah.
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
and it is an ongoing, because if you have to depend on medication, it is an ongoing thing because they are this stubborn. There are some of these problems we have chronic. Like my
Yeah.
blood pressure is very stubborn, and yet my nutrition, my diet is up to the letter. And I try also to see, could it be this? But it's just stubborn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry you couldn't see me because I didn't want to be seen.
But it's okay. What you've shared is
Okay.
important. So it
I
is
will
yeah, so I've read I think there is something about rights, the rights of human rights. And in those human rights, there's a charter that talks about even the patient has rights. But then
Yeah.
you also have the right for the doctor to treat you to the best of ability, but they're also human. But also the patient has responsibility. So your responsibility as a patient of hypertension, of diabetes, of anything you're taking, you need to know your medication, you need to know your side effects, you need to know what's going on. Sometimes actually people, like, you're given medication, or sometimes the doctor prescribed the right medicine, you go to the pharmacy. Because that medication is not there, the pharmacist can change it and give you
Yeah.
something that's damaging to you. I remember when I had to analyze, patient medications, you find that, a 65-year-old patient is taking medication that's being excreted by the kidney. They're not supposed to take that because already they have a risk factor for a kidney just because of their age. They need to take something else. And so you can help the doctor help you by knowing your medication and even your numbers, as we have already seen. Yeah. Yes, Mary Jane?
On
And
the
I feel
other
like
hand,
yeah,
on the other hand, also a pharmacist can help the doctor. Like the other day, I was given a medication which a pharmacist said that it won't be. So they discussed with with the doctor, and then they changed it to the one which was not going to be damaging to me. So either way, it can work. That a pharmacist can also discuss with the doctor if he feels what the doctor has prescribed may not be good for you, particularly if you are taking many medication, drugs. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. Dr. Jalang'o, I have a question for you.
Yes,
When a
please.
patient comes to see you, and then they tell you, oh, I'm taking a blue pill and I'm taking a yellow pill. And then you have another patient who comes to see you and they tell you exactly what they are taking, their dosages, and sometimes. I mean, how do you feel about this? And if there's a doctor in the room, please can you give us your opinion as well? Thank you.
Thank you, Alice. You've asked a very important question because when you come giving me pills, their colors, their shapes, it doesn't help. Many medication look alike, and sometimes it even prevents the level to which I can intervene while giving you another medication because medication can react. And it's important to know exactly what you're taking. Sometimes the symptoms which you come with to the clinic, the things you're complaining about, are actually things which are related to the medication. So if you do not know your medicine by name and how much you're taking, it becomes very difficult to make clinical decisions that impact your management well. And in cases, you sometimes would ask the patient to come back again. Now, look at that added cost you have to go through when you're paying again to come back, the transport, another consultation. So it's always important to have your medication. If you don't want to write it down, please carry the packets of your medication or take photos of the packets of your medication. Those become very, very helpful when you go into a setting and will help a clinician who is seeing you to make decisions more effectively and safely for you.
Yeah. And then just also to add, just from experience, I remember there's a former somebody, a senior person who died out of this country. They had very high blood pressure. They had forgotten to take their medication. And when you go to Europe or many countries, you cannot get medication over the counter. And this is just, I was, it was very sad. And this is just lack of understanding. You're hypertensive. When you know your medications, you will know the name, you will know the dosage. And even if you go to a pharmacy and says, I take glucophage 500 milligrams once a day, but I forgot my medication. Could you please give me a prescription or fill my prescription? They're able to do that. But when you go to the pharmacist and says, I take this I take a blue pill, white pill, what? It can actually cost you your life. Yes. And even just the side effects can cost your life, or just reactions. You have an emergency, you go to hospital, okay? And you've been on chronic medication, but you have no clue what you're taking, or even your spouse has no clue, or the immediate person living with you has no clue what you're taking. You can be given something that can really interact. Dr. Habil Alwanga, you are here. We would like to hear your voice if it's possible. Thank you. Mami Jane, just 1 minute, and then we go to Dr. Habil if he can talk, and then we move on. Thank you. Go ahead, Mami.
You are talking of color. Does it matter? If like it is the name, but sometimes they give you white or yellow, but the same name. So does it matter, the color of the medicine?
Dr. Jalang'o, that's your question.
Now, you see that you've asked a very good question. You see, you can be taking a particular drug by company A. It is blue, but company B makes the same drug and it is red. Company C makes the same drug and it is white. You see, and it's the same drug. And somebody else might be making it is round. Another one is making oval. Another one is making it as a capsule. You see, so the name is so important because the same drug can appear across 3, 4, 5 different companies in different shapes and sizes and colors.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Got it.
Yeah. Okay, so Dr. Alwanga, I know I ambushed you. Yeah, if you're not able to talk, it's okay. I just wanted you to comment on the discussion, medication management, intake. I saw somebody's hand up. Was it a Catherine? And then they quickly put it down. Did you have a comment? And also we're looking at the chat if there's any comment. Yeah. Today there's no chat on the comment. Okay.
There's no comment on the chat.
Yes. There's no comment on the chat. Okay. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Dr. Alonga said he's not able to talk. That's fine, Dr. Thank you. Okay, Lydia. So shall we go on to the next? Yeah. Thank you, everybody. We care about you. We love you very much. And these are things we expect of you. Please just learn, at least learn about one medication. Even if you're taking so many, at least learn about one medication side effects. You'll see the difference actually this makes, yeah? Thank you so much. At Lydia.
All right. So thank you very, very much, Ms. Jalang'o, for that excellent recap. Your presentation, of course, reminds us that understanding medication empowers us to become active partners in managing our health. We truly appreciate you. Well, it's time for our weekly food review. And of course, we want to congratulate you for your consistency and willingness to share your food pictures. Every picture you share is an opportunity for growth, not only for you, but for the entire DTLC family. So thank you so much for posting. And to help us reflect on our choices and identify where we are doing well and where we can improve, I'd like to invite Dr. Ojwang to take us through this. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm just going to share my slides, and we are just looking at your food. I must say, just like Lydia has said, thank you. You have been posting. So I'm looking at week 5, last week. But remember, we already looked at the beginning, which was really bad. Double carbohydrates, no vegetables. So I must say you've done very well. And even where I have color, please remember that it's just a learning purpose and it's just to question what happened, you know. So this is, you can see how people are eating beautifully, you know. So now the question here is, do you understand? You know, so we have a large piece of ugali and then we have boiled egg. We have no vegetables. So what's going on here? So if you have been to this class, if you have been listening and following, then you're going to try and not have a meal like this. This is also a very dry meal, you know. So even though if it's available, then that's what's available, then we need to have a smaller, this starch, this is big. You see, it's even bigger than the protein. And then there's no vegetables. So this is no good, and we can make changes. Also, when we just have potatoes and tea, you know, is there an opportunity to have vegetable here, even if it's for breakfast? That's very important. But you can see this is a nice meal, very good meal, carbohydrate intelligence in the works. This is, I really like to see this. This person had some nuts, you know, a very good vegetarian meal. Cucumber and apples, very good. And here you have lots of vegetables, you have eggs, and then you have, I think this is maybe watermelon. Well done. You know, so all these are very nice, healthy, sumptuous meals. This is actually a very good meal. This is one of my favorites. Yogurt and nuts, you know, or fruits and nuts. It's a full meal. You feel full. Yeah, we need to have vegetable, but this is fine without vegetable. But this is not fine without vegetables. You see the difference, eh? Yeah. So here, I don't know if the person already ate the vegetables, and then remember to take the picture. But still, we think this is a lot of carbohydrates or a lot of starch in one meal. Also here, I don't know what's going on in this plate here, you know, yeah? So we have cereal, we have another meal here, we have tea, like groundnuts. I don't know what's going on yet, but you can see it's not balanced as well. So this is the same one. I think I've already done it on that side. But you can see generally everybody is really trying. Look at that, you know, look at that, you know, okay? We're all trying, yeah? Very good. So there's a day I posted a chocolate and I wanted to just see what people eat. But then I realized people, and after that, there was a lot of posts for ice cream, a lot of posts for chocolates, you know. It's good to eat these things, but occasionally and how much, you know. So for this person, I just put, just to show, if you have a small portion, it's fine. And me, I get gifts for chocolates and then I'll just have a small portion. Tiny little one. So it's always how much. You know, if you're eating the whole thing, if you're eating ice cream every week, that's not okay. But you can have leisure, you can have pleasure, you can have a piece of cake, you can have ice cream, you can have chocolate, but how much and how often? So if you're having ice cream, then you have to plan for it because it's a carbohydrate and it's a lot of sugar. So you want to eat your meats and your vegetables, then you have ice cream for dessert. And so then you have not had extra carbohydrates, and it's fine to have it. But you can see generally we're doing well here. So maybe some of the things we want to change as we go is we want to change when we want to eat like whole meal, we want to start eating whole meal and not refined carbohydrates, you see. Also, when you look at a meal like this, I think this is a large meal, if you ask me. Because yes, it is starch, but did we measure the food? That's okay. So here, again, I think this is a large meal. You can see it's a large meal. So we are still having a lot of carbohydrates. Vegetables, fine, but this is carbohydrate. That's still a lot, I think. So are you having half or quarter cup if you're a woman, or half to 1 cup for men? Okay. So those are all good meals. But now look at here. We have a whole plate of vegetables, of rice. The rice is under here. Then we have cream. Then we have meat. So this is not a good meal. Where is the vegetables? You know, where are the vegetables? Which are your lifeline, okay? So most of the meals are good and have improved from the first week. Don't you think so? You know? Yeah, even the portion here is very good for carbohydrates. Look, green, fresh vegetables, not very good. But sometimes how deep is this bowl? Should I be worried that the carbohydrate is still a lot, you know? Yeah. So very, very good. Very good. So in the future, we want to try. Are we still having this refined, very white? Yeah. So all good. All good. Look at that. Very good. Here. Okay. So I think the fruit is a lot, if you ask me, but it's okay. It's carb intelligence. They have vegetables. Okay. So that was, I don't know what that was, but was it legumes? If this was legumes, then it means we have triple carbs or double carbs, eh? Oh, sorry, what did I do now? Okay. So you have the drill. You have done, okay, so here, yeah, so we are still in these slides here. Yeah. So I also was wondering what was happening here. So, and this food was posted for dinner. So you just had a whole big fish for dinner, surely. We've gone through why you should not eat animal protein at night. So if you're having blood pressure, diabetes, or you're just trying to be healthy, can we actually have this for dinner? So if you have actually gone through the lessons, then we shouldn't see this for dinner. If you haven't done those sessions, then just go back to YouTube or just request so that you can learn, because we are trying to empower you, okay? So that's fine. Also, I don't know what was going on here. And this is the same problem, just a lot of starch and tea. I mean, it doesn't really help much, eh? And it just makes you hungry, so you want to eat and eat and eat, yeah? I don't know what was going on here. What else they ate, or this was just part of a meal. Yeah, so if you had groundnuts and some porridge, well and good, that's a good one. Here, this is interesting. Sometimes I actually just eat half avocado and nuts and go to bed. So yeah, so this person seems to have ate avocado and some soup or some sauce. Not bad, very creative, yeah?
It was avocado and vinegar.
Oh, yeah, very creative, very nice, yeah? So I think you have all done very well, don't you think so? Dr. Jalang'o, what do you have to say?
Yeah, the meals are quite interesting. They're much, much better. You can see people have paid attention to the lessons around carb intelligence. You can see the portions of carbs have reduced. The amount of vegetables is going up. And also, I'm also glad that I'm seeing a lot more of raw vegetables as well. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's a very, very encouraging. So just a few times you see somebody sleeping, but overall, I think this is quite some good progress.
Yeah, very good. And even if you're still having some challenges, like you've seen your plate there has a square, has a question mark, it's a learning progress. What can you do? There is at least something that you can do. So, yep, well done. I can just be proud, Thank you so much. Yeah. So that takes us on to the next session, Lydia, right?
Yes, it does.
Before we go to the next session, I think we still have some time. I guess today will be just a little, our maximum is usually 1 hour, 30 minutes, but yeah, we don't want to take that long. So I want to share a video here, and I want us to pay attention to this video. It's about the choices we make. So please listen to the video, watch the pictures, watch what's going on, listen to the sound of the music changing. And then, so it's a 3-minute video. We are going to discuss it for 7 minutes, and then we go on to your meal planning purposes, okay? So I'm just going to share it now, and I'll share this sound. Yeah, thank you.
No sound, Dr. Ojwang.
But oh yeah, sorry. I think the sound is here. Let me start. Okay, very good. So then, I hope you're listening. So what do you notice about these two people? What's going on here? What do you think is going on? So I can start you off. So there are two people with different lifestyles, and they're doing different things. Yeah. So Evelyn says, everyday choices. I'd like to hear your voice, my dear, if you can. Yeah? What about everyday choices? Put some more meat on it.
I
Yeah.
think what we see is just that life presents you with an opportunity to make a choice.
Mm-hmm.
And it needs to be a conscious choice because over time you can see that there are different results from the choices we make every day, whether it's in eating or your social life or your work-life balance. So the choices are presented to us. Yeah, that's what
Thank
I
you.
see. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. And so we had two people. One has a bad lifestyle, one has a good lifestyle. So what was happening between these two people? What do you think? Yes, go ahead, Mommy Jane.
Yeah, there is one who keeps on coke all the time, and the time of exercise, you see, he pushes the kit for exercise there, and then as life continued to increase the health, the other one on the left is now adding weight, and the skin.
Yeah.
His skin is different from the one who keeps doing exercise, and the one doing exercise, he has what to do. When he finishes with the other one, he put a mark that is over like that.
Okay, yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. So you've clarified there's a bad lifestyle. They even have bad skin from their eating behavior as compared to the other person. And then Viola is saying here, one is eating healthy and the other not eating healthy. Healthy lifestyle makes one stronger and able to do his daily activities, and his weight was well maintained while the other gained excess weight and became obese. Thank you for that. Yes. Dr. Jalang'o, you're shaking your head. Do you have a input? And there are so many dietitians here in training.
I am really appreciating the comments coming in.
Okay, very good.
Yeah, I'd like to hear their voices.
Thank you. Choga, please go ahead. Yeah. Yes, want to hear your voices, people.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, I think the other one was always sick and he was always taking medicine, different medicine, and the other one was okay.
Yeah,
I saw
thank you.
a aid bag. So I think the other one was always on medication, was taking different kinds of medication, maybe for different types of illness that was attacking him.
Yeah, yeah. So their bad behavior just increased the risk of maybe chronic disease. And so because they were not changing, things were just getting worse. So then they have to take different pills. Yes. Who was that? Lavina? Somebody's hand was up and they put it down. Go ahead, please. Want to hear voices.
I wanted to add that I've also observed that this person who wakes up and takes fruits and more of a healthy meal, he has sort of also prioritized his mental well-being in that he takes time to read, his physical well-being, he works out. And we know World Health Organization defines health as not just the absence of disease, but also mental, physical, and spiritual well-being. So he's doing all that. And I've also observed that as a result, I think he's more productive compared to this other person. So that's what I wanted to add in addition to what the others have said.
Yes, that is true. Thank you very much. He's very productive. You can see he's always finishing his to-do list. Well, the other person, when they're going to work, the healthy lifestyle is listening to an audiobook. The other one is listening to bad news. So you can just say bad news, bad, 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 And of course, that causes more anxiety. Okay, one more trial before we can fill in what we also have seen. Yeah, there's somebody, Damaris has written, each and every day you get to make choice each day, and whichever choice you make, it gets easier to follow through with it. Yes. So if you make bad choice, it gets better. You're always making the bad choices. You become, and actually that is what the music means. The music increases in tempo because it's become a habit. So it becomes easier. So the person who was making unhealthier choices, you can see they become sicker, they become careless, they've eaten a lot of junk food, everything is disorganized, the desk is disorganized, the place is disorganized. Of course, they're too tired, they wake up in the morning, they have a gym bag that's packed, but it's never used. But then they still go on. Despite all this, they're able to go to the bar and take a lot of alcohol, you see, even though they're tired to go to the gym. But then the healthier person also gets with their habits. So to-do list every day, checking it, listening to audiobook, gymming. They still go out with their friends, but you can see he just reduces the number of beers he's taking. He still goes out with his friend. He still has fun, and then you've written here also, unhealthy choices lead to mental health problems, stress, reduced productivity, unhealthy relationships with friends, skin issues, and overweight, okay? So it's been 5 weeks, dear friends, 5 weeks. So are you making healthier choices? Because it's gonna become easier and easier. Are you making healthier choices? We can see from your plates that you're trying. In fact, you're doing very well. But how about your exercise? Okay? So I must say my exercise always look 2.5, but 5:30 in the morning, I work out with a few friends on Zoom and we do different things. So after that, it's weight training. I'm always too tired to go and do 10,000 steps. So I get my exercise every day. Let me defend myself. And at my age, I don't have to get 10,000 steps. Have I done my exercise, my weight training? Yes, I have. And when it's possible, I'll get 10,000. So I'm already getting my exercise. But you who is doing 2,000, did you get some other exercises, or that is where you have stopped? So why don't we go on from 1,000 to 2,000 to 5,000? It's week 6 now. We're starting week 6. So are you at the halfway mark? Are you at 10%? Where are you at? Okay. But all in all, I think everybody's doing their part and doing it well. So slowly by slowly, and then just ask the questions. But this video ends by saying small choices become actions. Actions become habits, and habits become our way of life. So which way of life do you want? Thank you very much. Yes.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Ojwang, for helping us grow into healthier eaters. We appreciate that feedback. Now, we have a special segment this evening. So throughout the week, we encourage you to watch the documentary Hack Your Health, The Secret of Your Gut. We hope you found it informative and thought-provoking, and we want to discuss these key lessons and practical take-home messages from this documentary. So it's my pleasure to invite the DTLC team. Please go ahead.
Yes. And so, Lydia, we're going to apply it with the application of planning your meals.
Yes.
So I'm going to go through this planning your meals, and then using the knowledge we have from Hack Your Health and what we see here, then we go through it. This will just take a few minutes. So this is the lesson we missed last week because, we couldn't manage. So let me just share again my slides. And so then we can go to Hack Your Health. So here we are, okay? So we want to do meal planning. And let me tell you, it is not rocket science. It is very, very simple, okay? So, we want to create the list of items we need to make our ideal meals and then head to the market to get these ingredients. So what do we do? Very simple. So we've taken some of your meals and so we've analyzed it. So let's quickly analyze this together. Just write down somewhere. How many types of vegetables do you see? So we have here lettuce. We took just one person's meals here so that we're not confusing. So we have lettuce, think. We have bell peppers here. All right. We have carrots. Those are already 3 vegetables. We have green. This is sukuma wiki. That's 4. Okay. This also looks like sukuma wiki. So we don't count twice. And then here we have cauliflower and cauliflower and broccoli. But you see, we shouldn't count it as 2, but we can count it as 2 anyway because they have it at home. Then we have carrots again. So this is how we analyze. So ideally, we need to assess. So we are going to send you this chart. You just need to write down everything you're eating. So then we assess. We'll tell you how. So we've written down what she was eating. So we had her meal for a few days. So we put down her steps. We put down what she's eating. Then we've analyzed this food. So when you're assessing your meal plan, you have this chart which asks you, did you eat very little? Did you eat recommended portions or did you eat too much? This helps you to be accountable for yourself. So this person, mostly they ate recommended portions, okay? And then very little, they didn't have any nuts and seeds in their meal. They didn't track their water, but they know that they can actually do better when it comes to water intake. So they acknowledge where there's a problem, okay? Yes. And they didn't have too much of everything because they are following their portions, okay? Yeah. So then the other questions we ask is, did you make healthier choices in all your food groups? How can you grade yourself? Very good, fair, or poor? Be specific. What do you need to improve? And so when we come here, the space, did you make healthier choices? Yes, they did. How can you grade yourself? They say fair, because they know they have room for improvement. So be specific. What do you need to change? I need to vary my proteins and carbohydrate intake, including new healthy options that I don't usually eat. Have more fresh and cooked vegetables. Because when you look at her plate, okay, we go back here, it's mostly cooked vegetables and maybe just carrots are not cooked. Okay, so this is just how you assess yourself. Very simple. Now you've been posting pictures, so we need you to just take 1 week, write down everything. Come here, write out are you eating little? Are you eating recommended portions or are you eating too much? And then you come here and you say, do you make healthier choices? How can you grade yourself? Be specific. What do you need to improve on? Then list down the vegetables you eat, the starches, the fruits, the proteins, and more. So we're able to list down what this person eats. And this is exactly how you prepare your grocery shopping list. So you list down, so she ate up to 6 vegetables in a week, different types. So if you can see some of them, she had more because I don't have cauliflower and broccoli here. So she had like 7 or 8 types of vegetables in a week, which is excellent. Most of us cannot do 8. Most of us can do 3, or 4, which is good. So this was excellent. So this is what she ate. She had rice, potatoes, cassava, lentils, cassava. She had protein, she had beef, she had fish, she had chicken. She only had 1 fruit in that 1 week, or the few days that we looked at. Dairy, she had yogurt and a bit of cheese. She didn't have any nuts, she didn't have any spices. So now this is what she's eating. So we are sending you a grocery guide. So now we go and look at the next week, we want to make a list of things we've not eaten. So the next week she did sukuma wiki. She ate very little bell peppers and green peas. So you can at least budget for 3 types of vegetables a week, okay? 3 types of starches, proteins, if it's possible to have 3. But you don't always have to have protein in every meal, okay? Or every day, you don't have to. But so this is just an example. It's not the ideal example, but yeah, if you have the resources and you're able to, fine. So this, you budget, what proteins will you have this week? Then you budget, what fruits will you have this week? Then you budget dairy. What dairy will you have? Okay, nuts and seeds. So she's going to have, she said, okay, so she'd like to try to have some sunflower, a few nuts in the week, and then spices. She'd like to add more spices to her meal. So now we use this to make the meal, to make your ideal meals. Remember, this ideal meals is just a word. Ideal meals comes by when you keep changing what you're eating. When you eat the same thing every day, every week, that's not ideal because you're getting the same nutrients. You're not varying, you're not varying your nutrients. And so you're not getting the phytochemicals, the vitamins, you're not getting the value of eating variety of foods. And so when we use a different, then now you plan your meal with that grocery list, okay? So let's plan the meal. So now we see, we plan for her to have skuma wiki and to have this chapati for the week. So spinach, and you can have spinach with chicken, spinach with fish, spinach, with different proteins. And then here you have, we budgeted her watermelon. Let's go back so you're not getting confused. Let's go back here. So we budgeted these 3 vegetables. We budgeted chapati, yellow beans, and sweet potatoes. Then beef. And remember, you don't always have to have beef. Then we have these fruits, okay? So now let's go to the meals. So you see, we have spinach, chapati, and beef. Here, we had watermelon, peas, and chicken. Here, we have beans, yellow beans, chicken, and we have bell peppers. Then we have peas, sweet potatoes, and fish. We have, fruits, the bell peppers with onions, piece of fish. And this is only if you're having animal protein all the time, all right? So let's go to a vegetarian option, right? So this is, we picked there's somebody in the group who's a vegetarian. And also for me, for the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be a vegetarian because I need to support my friend in the group and another friend of mine who has been put on a vegetarian diet. So we looked at our vegetarian meals put together, okay? So then we analyzed the meal, what she's eating. Now from that analysis, we're able to create a list. So she eats mostly recommended portion, no animal protein because it's vegetarian. Okay, she's not eating nuts. She needs nuts to get her protein. So when we assess this, okay, she's doing well. So we've created a grocery shopping list. This is what she was eating. She had a lot of cucumber, she had cabbage, she had some traditional vegetables. For carbohydrates, she had ugali, she had green peas, she had sweet potatoes, okay? So this is what she was eating. But now, the shopping list for next week is what she's not eating. So she's not eating okra, French beans, and mushrooms. So she'd like to try this one. So it's what you want to try. If you've not been eating skuma wiki, cabbage, carrot, what other vegetables can you try? Take 3. If you've been eating rice, potatoes, chapati, what other starches can you try? Take 3, okay? And then where are you getting your proteins from? And of course, what fruit are you gonna have? And I realize people are not eating, now people are eating fruits, which is good. But before that, it was just rice, chapati, potatoes, okay? So then we come and now plan a vegetarian meal. Okay, sorry. So vegetarian meal is here, sorry. So we have corn, all right? She has some almonds, and you don't have to take a whole, almonds are very, very rich. So you actually need to take just a few pieces. So she has mushrooms and onions, okay? She has rice and soy chunks, soya. Soya chunks are very nutritious, and it's a very cheap form of protein, and available in our market. I think I find them very salty, but it's very nutritious. So you have that, okay? And then you have, you have okra, you have your lentils, and you have your, tofu. This is actually, tofu. You have tofu, And from that, just the 3 vegetables, the 3 starches, look at the variety of meals you can have. And so this is what we call ideal meals, because you're varying the starch, even the combinations matter. Your balance, of course, this is a very highly dense meal. You can't eat like this. This was a mistake on my side. You can have just half of these nuts, just half of the nuts, and then that would be your vegetables, okay? So this cannot be one meal. That is a very, very heavy meal. And you can see, you have yogurt, and you have your cherry tomatoes, and you put some chia seeds, voila, okay? So I'm trying to make it simple. So what we want you to do this week, go back to what have you been eating? You have your pictures. This is what I've been eating. So what do you want to try that's new? Okay, so try new vegetables and try new starches, try new proteins. I had this. We are going to also send you something like this. I think I had it here somewhere. So we'll send you, this is a vegetable guide, okay? So we have a vegetable guide. So what you do, just print out this thing and then you cross. You cross out, okay, I've eaten broccoli, I've eaten carrots. Okay, what else have I not eaten? And then you write that list. We can give some examples in the chat, okay, 1 or 2, but I want you to make this because you know what's available to you. You know what's affordable to you. I can't start recommending for you to buy radishes, and you don't eat radishes. But now in the next week, we'll want to see more raw vegetables and more variety during the week. Okay? So I have finished my lesson. So do we have any questions in relation to that? The questions can come in as we continue. So I have a question for you. So what do you think about that method of making your ideal meal plans? Do you understand? What don't you understand? And if we apply Hack Your Health and your gut health and the meal planning approach, yeah, where is my team?
Maybe can I comment, Alice?
Yes, please.
Yeah, Hack Your Health is one of the documentaries that I really like because people don't realize how important your gut is. Your gut is one of the biggest organs in your body. From your mouth right out to the other end is over 30 meters, So that's a very huge organ. And there's a critical interplay. It's not just about your digestive juices, digesting your food. There are things that live within you. They are called microbes, okay? So when we are planning our meals, we are not just looking at counting your calories. We need to feed your gut microbes. When we have a healthy microbe, it supports blood sugar, it supports weight management, your immunity, mental, and even overall health. When you look at, when you watched Hack Your Health and they do the stool transplants, you see what happens when somebody who is depressed, their stool is given to somebody else who is not depressed, the changes it makes in them, They also get depressed, they become overweight, and it changes a lot of things. So it is important to aim for diversity when we are planning for meals, a variety of vegetables, fruits, legumes, nuts, and whole grains. And then the other thing that is also important is as we eat our food, fiber is also part of it. Microbes thrive when there is fiber, the good microbes. And then limit things like sugar and highly processed food because the bad microbes like them. And the bad microbes are the ones which will give you overweight, interfere with your blood glucose monitoring, and also your weight management. Fermented foods are also important, so you try and ensure that you eat fermented foods on a regular basis. Yogurt, kefir, fermented milk, kimchi, and even the traditionally fermented, even vegetables, fermented porridge. Those are very, very important because they support the good bacteria or the good microbes in your gut. So the other thing that's also important is you respond to foods differently from your friends, from somebody else. So always remember that you personalize your meals. There are things that will work for you. When you eat, they don't give you a problem. Respond to what your body tells you. If you see a food gives you a problem, then you need to avoid it, okay? And then also look at your glucose. If you have diabetes, how is my glucose responding to the changes I'm making? How are my energy levels? Do I feel satisfied when I eat? Otherwise, there's a problem. And then also to look at what comes out behind you when you
Stool
leave the
chart.
toilet is
Yeah.
very, very
Let me just
important to look at. Do you have the Bristol stool chart?
yes,
It's
I'm even
important to
looking.
put that.
I'm
Yeah.
looking for it now. Yeah.
Yeah. So remember, don't just feed yourself, feed the microbiome in your gut. Because when your gut thrives, your health thrives.
Yes. So thank you. I'll just share the stool chart first before I add on to. But I expect, so what did you think about this? So the stool chart, it tells you where you are. So you should actually, ideally, this is the healthiest meal. This is the healthiest tool, number 4. You go in, it's completely out in 1 minute. Okay, it's very clean. You need very little tissue paper. This still means that there's a problem. It's not really optimal. There's still a problem. There's still constipation. The first two are constipation and severe constipation. And then this way you go mild diarrhea, moderate diarrhea, severe diarrhea. So there's bacterial infections, there's too much mucus, there's a problem with your gut here, So type 4 is the best. Yeah, so we can share this tool chart with you eventually. So when you eat healthy, you see it in your stool, you see it in your gut. And just like Dr. Jalang'o has summarized, it is very, very important to look at what are you eating? What goes on? What are you actually eating? So I like this gut health. I really like this documentary, and I watch it all the time because every time I watch, I understand something new. So the question maybe you want to leave is, what is your microbiome? If we did a test, a microbiome test, what is your microbiome? Is it healthy? Is it rich? And the key here is diversity. Okay, and this is why we want you to make a grocery list. So we'll send you, do I have it here? Lydia, I think you had sent it to me, yeah? There's fruit and vegetable guide. Let me just use this one as an example, and even the fruit guide, okay? So let's just use this as an example. So how many of these vegetables have you eaten? Is it always just cabbage, 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 cabbage? Okay. And maybe some spinach or chard. Okay. How many of these vegetables have you eaten? So, you can eat these vegetables. You can eat a lot of vegetables in 1 month. So you keep every week you pick 3. I'll eat these 3. I'll eat them cooked. I'll eat them raw. I'll make a juice. I'll make a smoothie. Something like that. Different vegetables. There are many. We can never finish. Okay. And so if we can go to even the fruit guide, same thing. How many types of fruits have you eaten, right? Let me just do the fruit guide so that we can look at that as well. So I have there. And Lydia, you sent me something, yeah? The grocery shopping list.
Yes, yes.
So same thing. So we see here. So you have fruit. Which fruits have you consumed? We know some fruits, they are seasonal, but you can look for, you can go out of your way and look it up and use it as part of your meal, and then try different ones. Then we have starches. Then we have proteins. And then you ask the questions, what is high in protein? What is high in this? Ask us. But the key is to have a variety. And what variety do they say you should be able to have in a week? What do they say you can have in a week? I expected some people to be supporting this discussion, some of the nutritionists in the team.
Because they are very, there was a precise number they gave.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
Lydia.
Lydia.
Yeah, they recommended at least 30 different vegetables per week.
Not just vegetables, it's different foods, you know,
Foods,
because different foods count.
Plant foods.
Plant-based, you know. Yeah. Different plant-based. So it's your bean, different types of beans, different types of vegetables, you know, different types of fruits, adding. Yes. Yeah. Peas, Linda. Okay, so what does the silence mean? You didn't watch? You didn't understand? Eh? Say something in the chat. Ask a question. Make a comment. Let us feel the silence is just silence and we should not interpret it to mean anything else. Yeah. Okay. So, Atino, what's your challenge for the week before we give it over to Lydia?
Aren't you the one supposed to give a challenge today?
I know, but only 2 people sent their medication. So maybe we need to give them another.
Please, it's important that you know your medicine. It would be advisable if each and every one of us who is on a medication takes that exercise seriously and fills your chart. You can send it in as anonymous. Yeah, like the other person. It's better to do it as anonymous or just use initials we don't know so that when we review it, you can relate to whatever is being discussed. So please take that very, very seriously. You may be surprised. You may just find that something maybe that's been bothering you is actually a drug reaction and you are not aware.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. And so my challenge for the week is really make a grocery list. Eat something you have not eaten before. Eat a vegetable you've not eaten before. Eat a fruit you've not eaten before. Eat starches you don't normally eat, and just make a list of 3. 3, 3, 3, 3. We are sending you a grocery shopping guide as well. Okay. Let me just quickly find it. I think I opened it here, but yeah, the things have a way of disappearing. Yeah. So we'll send you the guide, the fruit guide. But okay, so over the years, some people find this very easier. They find this one easier to use because what they say is I just cross out, you know. So you have this chart, which you're also sending you. So it means that what you do, starches and legumes, okay? And of course, the list is many. So we might need to update this before we send it out because now we have a mixture. Mostly it's used to people from East Africa. Now we have people from West Africa. We have Southern Africa. So maybe we are going to get this list out so we can add the different vegetables in English at least, in areas. I think that's a challenge we want to give you to help us update this list. And so what you do is you just cross it. So today, this week, you're going to eat beetroot, celery, and broccoli. Then next week, you want to eat chives and leeks and Brussels sprouts. Then the other week, you want to eat courgette and lettuce. Then you go to fruits. I want to eat this week, I'll eat apples and grapes. Maybe I can only afford 2 types of fruit. And so you can eat it as part of a meal, you know, part of breakfast, part of lunch, part of dinner, you know. Yes. And then you go on like that, like that. So it's just 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. You know, and you don't always have to have meat. You can go a week without meat, a month without meat. There's nothing wrong with that. Most of your foods already have some protein in it. So it's not, you don't go out of your way to eat meat, chicken, fish. No, you don't have to. Yeah. And towards the end of this, we are going to also watch another documentary. So I hope that you watched. And so I would like to get more participation, more questions. Some people send me personal questions, but I'm not able to answer that. Put it in the group so that everybody else can learn from that question. That's more beneficial to all of us. Thank you very much. Over to you, Lydia.
All right. Well, just before we conclude, someone just sent me a question. They say that in their country, when they buy vegetables, they're usually already mixed. So they may include carrots, beans, peas, broccoli, and cauliflower. So do we add extra carbohydrates or we get them from that mixture?
Well, I remember a question like that in the group. Okay, so when you buy the mixture, it's good and bad. Okay? It's good because it's a good mixture. Very good. But remember, different vegetables cooked at different temperatures. Okay, so if you cook all of this together, you'll find that some vegetables will be overcooked, some undercooked, which is fine. So if you eat that all the time, it still means that you're eating the same thing every day. Okay? So it will be good to actually also, as much as you buy those from time to time, you also go out of your way to just buy different vegetables. Buy the cabbage on its own, buy the beetroot on its own, buy the red cabbage on its own, and then just eat. Clean eating means also you're just eating one type of food, one type of vegetable, one type of starch, and one type of protein, not mixing, and it's us to train those supermarkets. Yeah, I hope I've answered that. And of course, if it is mixed with corn, then yes, it's okay. That would be your carbohydrates already. Yeah, there. Yes. And then somebody called admin said, some of us are here to improve our lifestyle and as such may not be on medication, which is very true, very true. But please note that we have your data. Out of the people who have filled out those data, most of them are living with diabetes. And few people are here for lifestyle, and I completely understand, and that's fine. But majority are living with a chronic disease condition, And so we'd like them to really ask the questions so we can bring out the best in us, Yeah. So thank you for that, admin. Yeah. Yes, in ASL areas, getting a variety is a challenge. What can you advise people in ASL areas to do? A friend of mine used to work in one of those areas, and she's not here. In fact, I called and told her I need you to join, but she's actually traveling. So she used to carry dried vegetables. Okay? And in this town, in this Nairobi, you will not believe it. You can find, and I discussed, Shizanu told me, go here and find your dried vegetables. Order from this person your dried vegetables. So she'll get all sorts of dried vegetables, And some of them are already ground and put in packages, like Harriet's Botanicals, I think. Okay, I'm not advertising for her, but the other people they've already ground it and put it in a container. So it's slightly more expensive than the normal vegetables, but you get dried vegetables, and all you do is you just cook it like you cook other vegetables. But then also in ASL areas, the other vegetables that you find there as well that they grow in those areas. And sometimes you think they are weeds, but they are vegetables. So it will be good to understand what vegetables actually grow in these ASL areas. Maybe even I would like to do some more research on that and then share, But yes, you can still get some dried vegetables and make do with what's possible. You can also do your kitchen garden. Okay? Kitchen garden and grow your vegetables. Yeah. Thank you. We don't have Ralph. There's somebody who was in another season who was teaching people how to grow these vegetables. Yes. Yes, Dr. Jalang'o.
Yeah, you mentioned what I wanted to mention about growing your own vegetable. Because if you're living in such an area, you can even make a shaded place. You can grow vegetables effectively in pots, in sacks, and even in planters. So you can do that, and even with water, when you learn what hydroponics does, even on your window. Yeah, on your window, you can hang bottles with water and you're growing your vegetables there and you're able to eat them. So it just means maybe learning a new skill, or otherwise then, as Alice has mentioned, then if you are not interested, then you eat your dried vegetables. And those can stay for very long. So you can buy a variety and eat them there.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah. Yeah. Over to you, Lydia.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Dr. Ojwang, for such an informative presentation. We've definitely reminded us that healthy eating doesn't happen by chance. It starts with thoughtful planning and making informed choices, even before we prepare the meal. So thank you so much. We truly appreciate. We have a lot of information that we'll share with our participants in the WhatsApp group throughout the week. So be on the lookout for that. So now, as we come to the end of our session, we would really like to thank each and every one of you for spending this evening together with us, learning together. And every session you attend brings you one step closer to better health. So definitely a special thank you to our incredible facilitators, Dr. Alice Ojwang, Ms. Jalang'o, and of course to you, our cherished DTLC family. Thank you for your commitment, your participation, and willingness to learn week after week. So this week's challenge is ready. We'll share tomorrow morning, and we look forward to hearing your experiences throughout the week. So remember, small changes practiced consistently lead to lasting results. We look forward to seeing your assignments, your food pictures as well throughout the week. So until then, we meet again next Monday. We keep making healthy choices, we keep supporting one another, and then we keep believing that better health is possible. Have a wonderful week ahead, and we'll see you again in week 7.